Hello and welcome to Dinesh Sharma 10x. In this video, we are going to learn about a new feature which Microsoft has rolled out in October 2024 for beta users. Yes, if you are a beta user, you will find this feature called Focus Cell in the View tab. If you are not on beta channel, then you may have to wait for some more time. But in this video, we are also going to show you a trick with that. Still, you can use the similar functionality. For that, we will also understand in this video few formulas like cell, row, column and or formula, and I am also going to talk about a little tiny VBA code that will be useful in our discussion. So let us start. I am in this sheet, focus cell sheet, and this is sample data. To see the focus cell option, you need to go to View tab, and here under show section you will find the focus cell option. Simply click on this, and once you activate it, you can see that wherever your active cell goes, the particular column and the row get highlighted automatically. This is how the focus cell is useful to identify the location of your active cell. Secondly, if you want to change the color of this highlighting, you can still do that. Go in the same option, the right side, you will find a small drop down button. Click on that, and the second option is focus cell color. Here you can change the focus cell color. Suppose I want the blue color, then simply click on that and it will change the color of your highlighting. One more thing, the last option here is show auto highlight. If this is checked, you can, this is a toggle button, you can keep it on or you can keep it off with the same option. So I keep it on with the check mark. If this is on, then irrespective of whether your active cell button is on or off, whenever you are using the Control F feature for find and replace, then in both the options it will highlight. Whenever it find any match, it will highlight the active cell so that you can identify where it has found the word which you are searching. So this is how the focus cell works. There would be times when you will find this focus cell option grayed out and this does not work at all, and those will be the situation if you have a active freeze pan in your sheet. Suppose here in this sheet I have activated a freeze pan. I have freezed the first row, and that is why I can scroll it like this, but the focus cell does not work. This is a limitation, of course. And also, if it is not freeze pan, your focus cell is not gray, it will start working. Also, it does not work if you have this split option active. You can split the windows to work in a different sections and refer to the other section altogether in one time, but the focus cell feature will not work in those kind of situations. That was the focus cell feature, and now we will see if we do not have this option yet, then how do we highlight our active cells, row and column, so that we can identify easily. By default, the row and column headings are shaded with a different color. You can see here the column E is little more gray than the other columns, and similarly the row 12 is little more gray than the other rows. This is how you identify which column and which row it is. But if you want to see a color in the whole column and the row, then we have to use conditional formatting and few formulas. But instead of giving you the formula directly, I would like to explain how those formulas work so that you can enhance your knowledge. Let's go to a blank sheet. I have a blank sheet here, and first understand a formula called row. So I will write equals to ROW row, and you can see here returns the row number of a reference. That means this formula do not have any argument. The argument is just option argument because it is in the square brackets. Here you can see give a reference to a particular cell, but if you keep it blank, then it will return the values of this cell itself where your formula is. So I click on enter and you can see the active row number is row 6. If you copy it down, then you can see for each respective row it is giving the row number. This is formula row. Now let us understand formula column. So I write the formula column here equals to column, and here this is absolutely similar to formula row, and you click on enter and it will give you the row number. So it is in the second it is going to give the column number. It is in the second column B, that is why it is giving 2. If you copy it on the right side, it is going to give you the respective column number starting from A as 1. So this is how the formulas row and column works. Now let's talk about cell formula. So I will enter the formula here equals to cell, and here you can see it returns information about the formatting, location or contents of the first cell according to the sheet's reading order in a reference. Don't get confused with that. Simply enter that formula and it will give you few options. And here for our purpose, what we want is we want either the row or either we want the column. So the argument here will be, suppose if it is raw, go there and hit the tab button, it will automatically take a row inside the inverted commas, then close the parenthesis and enter. It has returned 9. So wherever your cursor is, suppose my cursor is in the 12th row, and if I press OK here, then it will return me 12 because it is in the 12th row. That means this formula cell returns the row number, if it is mentioned here as row, of the active cell. Now with this information, I am going to formulate a new formula which returns me true or false, because I can use that true or false information in conditional formatting and assign a color if the condition is true. Let's understand. So let me write that formula first for a row. I write here a formula which is a logical formula. So simply I say cell and I go to row with the down arrow, and once I'm at row, here you can see the blue highlighted, I hit the tab button and it takes the row. Now if this is equals to, so this first part cell row, this is going to return the position, the row number of your active cell. If the row number of your active cell is equals to formula row and simply close, that means of the cell where your active cell is, if it is equals to this row, then it is going to return true. So right now my active cell was here, that is why it has returned true. If I am here and I go inside and I click OK, it is still true. But if I am in the second one, if I am in the next row, another row, and if I go inside and hit enter, then it is returning as false. Why false? Because when my active cell was here in 15th row, this is false because the first argument is returning 15 and the second argument here is returning 14, that is why it is false. So only in the situation where my active cell is also in the same row, then it is going to return me as true. I'm going to use this function, and I'm going to use this formula. I'll copy it from here, and I will copy it from here, and I will go ahead and use it in conditional formatting. So let me show you. I go to the focus cell sheet again, and I will first select the whole area where I want this. So I will say Control A. It will copy all the complete area where my data is. So now I can go to Home tab. In the conditional formatting, I will create a new rule. Under the new rule, I go to the last option, which is use a formula to determine which cells to format. And here in the formula, I will write this formula which we have just understood. Cell row equals to row. And if this is true, then what kind of color you want? I want the row to be highlighted with the color yellow color. Or the additional possibility here is, which is not in the focus cell, you can also assign a specific outline with a specific color. So let's say I will also show you that I want it is to be highlighted with red color with this dotted line, this little dark dotted line, and the outline like this. And I click OK, and I click OK. Now you can see wherever my active cell is, it highlights that row. But there is a disadvantage, because it doesn't get highlighted automatically whenever I move it. I have to always use F9 to refresh. If you want to use this feature as it is, then you, wherever your active cell is, to identify that row, you have to press F9 every time to refresh it. But this is not what you would like to do, because you would like to make it happen automatically. I'm going to show you that as well. Stay with me till the end, you will understand everything. First, let us also include the column highlighting in our same conditional formatting. So for that, I'll go to the other sheet again, and I will modify this formula to make it for the columns. So I will go inside here, and at this point we go to this one, and we write column is equals to, instead of row, I'm going to use column formula. So column and bracket close. So this is what it will do. If I am in the same column, then it will be true. If I am on the another column, it will be false. So I can now use this formula inside the conditional formatting. Now what I want is, I want also another formula called OR formula. Or returns a true or false if the conditions inside OR formula, one of the condition is true, then it will return as true. So what I want is, I want out of these two conditions, if any of those conditions are true, then it should return me a true. That is why I'll go here again, I'll go inside the conditional formatting option, I'll go to manage rules, and I'll select this rule which we have just now created. I'll click on edit rule, and in this one I will first start this formula with OR, then parenthesis open. This was the first argument of OR, this is the first logical condition, then comma. The second logical condition is for the columns, and then I close the bracket, and then I click on OK, and again I click on OK. So now you can see that it is highlighting the active row and active column If I press F9, it moves to the right location. So now we need to also understand a little VBA code thing, so that you need not to press F9 every time you want to highlight the active row and column. For that, what you need to do is simply go to your sheet name, right click on that, go to view code, and you will see this VBA application window. Here in this one, simply on the first option, click on this drop down and select worksheet. The moment you click on worksheet, it will enter a simple code, and your active cursor is between these two codes. So simply here you need to write a very little line, which is target dot calculate. Once this is done, simply close it and you are done. Now wherever you move your active cell, the row and the column gets highlighted automatically. I hope you like this information and you are going to use this in your Excel files. And if you want to learn more, you can subscribe to my channel. Of course, I'm going to share a lot of things here, and also you can follow me on my social media channels with these links. In this sample file also I have given all my social media links, and if you want some courses, you also have a link to a course. So I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay happy, keep practicing and hone your skills. Bye bye.